Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today I want to talk about something that it comes down to the dog training world and the dog training community, being able to say something to be able to hopefully inspire some people to want to get out here and start actually, like I would say, is helping people. You know, I don't know it all, but I just know what I see, and what I see is going on, that I haven't got a lot of experience with just seeing the same thing over and over. So something I want to talk about today is a comment that I got that I really one that really gets to me, because it's something that is, I'm going to say, probably the biggest challenge that you have as being a said dog trainer. And that is of honest question. How are you able to convince people that this is the way instead of the dog trick method? I feel like this is more correct, yet against what all my peers are doing in my training. It says I'm horrible at business, and that's one thing that I'm going to say is a sad, unfortunate thing when it comes down to trying to get really good at working with some dogs and helping some people, that you kind of got to get into that business side of it. That it's no longer just, I'm going to work a dog and get a dog in a good place, but now we got like these business contracts and all this language. And something I can recommend that, read a whole bunch of business books, and you're going to be able to get some success. But the main thing I'm going to say with that is, I've just realized something, that I go in and I talk to people. I never worked for a dog training company. I went to a dog training school. I spent a lot of time there, and I decided I'm going to fix on the issues that I had with mine to make me feel a little more comfortable and confident about being able to help real world expectations. Because like I said, when I brought my dog home from just being in the kennels and then being in the home environment, it was completely different. I was having problems that dog training school and training and even dog training videos that I see are not addressing, such as fence fighting. How do I get my dog to stop fence fighting? How do I get my dogs to stop chasing prey items? How do I get my dogs to stop wanting to walk up to every single person and interact with every single person? How to get my dog to stop interacting with every single dog? Like, what's going on here? How to get my dogs to calm down inside of the house? There's certain things that the school just didn't provide me with a good enough, I guess I could say, explanation, where I just had to figure it out. Where I can say you can figure it out based on certain techniques and certain things, but for me, you know, I'm not big with the whole leashes and the collars and having to require that for the remainder of the dog's life. So something that I'm going to say is that I've learned on my very, very first consultation. I didn't know what to expect. I just walked in there. You know, I did some business before, working, painting houses and stuff. So I had a somewhat head start with knowing how to be able to interact with people, just knocking on a stranger's door and just presenting myself. But one thing that I learned right up front is shut up. Something that I watch a lot of people's dog training consultations and everything. Y'all talk too much. It's about the owner here now. It's not about what we as a trainer want and are desiring. It's what the owner wants. And if you just ask one question, what are you looking for from your dog? And listen, just completely stay silent. And when they get quiet, stay silent even still. Or say, hey, any more you want to add? And they will talk for hours and hours and hours, and allow them to be able to talk about what it is that they're experiencing and they're looking for with their dog. And this is where we're having a problem. Because we have dog trainers coming in and saying, no, you needed this and you needed this and you needed that. This is my program. This is how I do things. This is what we're going to get. Week 1, this is what we're working on. Week 2, this is what we're doing. Week 3, this is what's happening. As opposed to just saying, like, what does that person actually want from their dog? And there's a universal thing that I hear from every single, I have one person so far that just was looking for the sport side of things. And I'm just like, you know, I don't want to help you with that. Not that I can't, but I just don't have a passion for getting dogs to do perfect heels and perfect sit stays. It doesn't make me excited. What makes me excited is to get the dog to come back to me. What gets me excited is get the dog to stop running out of a door. Certain things like that get me, and that's where a lot of people are having issues. So the one thing that I'm going to say is a universal thing that everyone is always saying, because every house I go to and every phone call I get, they're already, oh, my dog knows how to sit. My dog knows how to down. My dog knows how to go get on the bed. The dogs already know how to do that because everyone has already watched the videos to get them to do that. So what more do we need to, like, as a dog trainer, where I just feel like I'm wasting people's money by convincing them to do it, say, better, when they're already happy with it? Every single dog owner says this to me. I want to get my dog to come back to me. There's times that he's just gone or she's gone and I can't get my dog back. Listen to what the people are saying. People are saying, my dog looks a little scary sometimes at other dogs. I'm not sure. Is it aggressive? Is it friendly? What's going on? And you, the trainer, look at and assess the situation of what's going on here. Listen to what the owners are looking for and give the owners of the dogs what they want. And stop trying to sell to them, your dog needs to be at a perfect heel in all your walks. The owner does now. I've met one person And I've worked with hundreds of people now. I worked with one person that wanted that. Everyone, they want their dogs to be able to move. They want their dogs to be able to sniff. They want their dogs to be able to go ahead, be a little behind. They want their dogs to be able to chill and experience a happy time on this walk. Not be some drill instructor that says, yes, sir, I'm on it, left, right, get it. They don't want that. They want a dog to be able to just hang out. They want a dog to relax. They want a dog to chill. They're not looking for this instructions on, I said it, do it, get it done. They're like, I just want my dog to come back to me, man. I'm fine with how my dog is in the house as long as it's not barking. But some people got the dog is barking out the window. You know, I get that. But that's not the everyone. Everyone's not having that issue. That's a smaller group. But the number one thing that I hear people say is, I just want my dog to come to me no matter what's going on and what's happening around. And that's all I do is I listen. I listen to what people are wanting. I listen to what people are looking for. And then once I started listening to, man, I worked for what is it called? A leads company. Lead company I subscribed to, and they were just flooding me with leads. You had to pay like $5 or $6 for the phone call. I make the phone call, and I worked, oh my goodness, a crazy amount of people. It was easy. All I had to do, my phone would just ring automatically. I didn't have to pursue it. I could sit at home, and I would get 5 phone calls a day. It was easy. And granted, if you don't have a budget like that up front, get you $1,000 up front and just start doing that. To just get experience with that if you don't have no business experience. But one thing that I did was I just listened to what these people had to say, and then I tailored my training package program around what the people wanted, not what I wanted, not what I was desiring, not what I learned in school of how to do all these tricks, the tricks, the tricks that don't translate to real world stuff, in my opinion. I don't see the results personally. That's just what I see. And I'm not the end all be all here. You know, I have a part that I go with, and other people got different lanes that they go on. I'm on this lane. And once someone says to me that this lane is looking better and you could do it easier like this, I'm going to, of course, jump on that lane. But I'm getting success with what I'm doing because this lane is doing good for me. I'm not set. I'm not this is it. I'm not that person. I change. And there's many videos of mine that's outside of dog training that I realized I was wrong. And I'll straight up say I'm wrong. I don't know what's going on. And that's another thing that's hard in the, said dog training community. We're all right. But one thing that I have come to realize is I want to tailor that package to what the people are looking for, what the people need. I don't care what I want. I don't care what's going to even be easy for me. If what's easy for you is working with dogs and not communicating to people, then the one thing I'll just say is you're not going to be an independent solo contractor out here. You're going to work for a facility because the main work behind this is communicating to the clients. It's talking to people, it's understanding people's needs. Hearing what someone has to say for 30 straight minutes and saying back to them exactly what they said in 2 sentences, if that, 1 sentence. I can hear when someone speaks. My consultations are an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. I just love to just listen to what people have to say about their dogs so that I can learn more. I'll sacrifice my time today for free so that I can have a better success in the future of knowing what people are actually looking for and understanding things. And I'm listening. I can listen to someone speak about their dog for an hour and a half. Things that they're struggling with, things that they really like, things that they're just like, I can't stand this, why can't they do this? And I can hit them with that hour and a half and say, this is what you want from your dog in 10 words. And they're just like, man, that is what I'm looking for. I'm like, I know, okay, let's get working on that. The other stuff, I don't care about the other stuff because what you want is this. Well, most people don't understand this, and especially with dog trainers, you worked enough dogs, you know this, that the better you get to walk outside, they stop pulling, they stop lunging, they stop barking at things, they start to become better in the house. Don't know why, but that's just what it is. I always start that, and that's the primary thing that people really want. And the better that the dog stops lunging, stops pulling, starts to get a better respect of listening to our words. So I start to get a better recall instantly. It's like an all-in-one package. I don't need to section this in different sections. It's an all-in-one package. I noticed that through time, when you stay consistent, we just keep doing the same stuff over and over every day, your recall gets better, your walking gets better, your home manners just get, you just like, I love my dog now. He just hangs out, he sleeps, he comes to me, he cuddles, he's no longer jumping on me. Things are just so much better. And if he is jumping, I just say, I don't want that. And the dog just like sits down and things get much better. So this is where I've come to tailor my, training package program to what people are looking for, not what I'm desiring or what my training company is desiring or what any of this is desiring. And that's where you're going to run into issues. That's where I knew day one that if I worked for somebody that I'd be butting heads, man, because I don't do the normal. I've never done that. I've never been that way. I always do like out of the box type stuff. And I always get like out of the box type results, not the normal. And when you see the results that are just different, I don't want to say better, but different and easier and simpler and just like, aha, that makes sense. Why wouldn't I think about it doing it like that? I'm going to keep going that route. And that's why everything that I do, and I'm going to say for the remainder of the time I ever talk about dogs, is going to get a lot of pushback because I don't do what everybody does. And I'm not going to, I don't want to do what everybody does. I actually, in reality, I purposely reject up front what everybody does so that I could do something different to see what's going to happen, see if it's going to work. I tried all kinds of stuff with my dogs to just figure out how to be able to get certain things better. I didn't just go with this is the method and that's the way to go. No, I was like, let's see if this will work. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens with this. Let's see what happens with that. And I'm like, I want to get another dog just to see what's going to happen with that. And that's what I just kept doing. I just trying random things, just randomness. I mean, if you think it's stupid, try it. And I'm telling you, it might be the thing that's going to lead to your success because it's animals here. We're not talking about no stuffed animals. We're talking about living, breathing, conscious, thinking beings. And they are phenomenal because we're able to do just out-of-the-box type stuff with them. It doesn't need to be this perfect structure routine. That's where personally me, I've seen failure with perfect structure routine. Because for one, we as human beings are what? We want to say we're consistent. Dogs are consistent. Dogs are on time. It's 9 o'clock. My Johnny's looking at me. He's like, food, where it at? It's 8 in the morning. He knows there's a difference of we're going to go in the room and hang out. We're going to go in the house and hang out. We're going to go over here and hang out. He knows they're consistent. But you know what we as human beings aren't? We are not consistent. And I don't care who you are on this planet to try to say that you are. And that's where you're going to fail every time by having everything just structured like this, and this. Because we as humans cannot keep up with that. And you need to just understand that up front. And you're going to try to give someone a training plan to be all structured like this. When I say sit, you got to do it every time like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, and do this, and do this, and do this. The human is going to fail. And that's what I just personally see out here. Failure. When I start seeing at least 50% of the dogs not reacting on leash, I'll say, you know, something's working. But when I see 99 out of 100 dogs that are savagely barking at me when I go out, because when I see a good dog, I said today on my run, I said good dog to 3 dogs. I was like, man, you got a nice dog because it's just hanging out. It sees me running and it just looks at me like, oh, hey, I'm like, dude, you have an exceptional dog that's just not the norm anymore. When I start to see the opposite of that, I'll say, okay, cool. All the training plans and all the training methods are working. You know what's interesting to me? All the nice dogs that I always see, it's with older people, man. These people are like 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. They got nice dogs. I don't know why, but they just got nice dogs. And not all, but they just got nice dogs. I just see that as like a universal thing that I'm starting to really pay attention to. And it's when I see that everyone, that's a switch, that 99 dogs and there's that one crazy one, I'm going to say, you know, the training methods that we're all putting out there for people are working. But when I just don't see that success, I'm going to say that something is missing here. Something is lacking. Something is confused here. Something is off. When I go and help someone and the other dog isn't reacting, but mine is, and then mine's not, and then the other starts to do it because the other always did it. They're all just looking for one to do it. But once one stops doing it, you start to look around, you start to pay attention to the world like, wow, like, I thought I was the only one. This was one thing I want to give some people at least a little hope. I thought I was the only one in this situation. No, like majority, beyond 50%, like 80, 90+% of people are struggling with dogs reacting on their leash. This is a huge thing. It's not just a few that's out here that's doing it. But when you're only in yours and you're just like, oh my God, my dog, you don't notice all the other dogs that are doing the exact same thing. And sometimes when you're in that situation and you're looking at the other dog, it scares you even more because you see that dog like, man, that dog's got intent. This guy's showing its teeth right now at me. And it scares you because you're like, I don't want that dog to bite my dog. And we go through this. This is like the majority that's out here. So it's the majority out here are having human reactive dogs on the end of a leash. That must mean that there's a disconnect with how to convince people how to work with their animals. And everyone is like, what's that method? What's this? I'm going to sit here and say this. Every single method works. It's a matter of you giving the owner of that dog their goals met. Your goals may be, I want you to this, and this. If the owner is, I just want my dog to come to me and I just want to be able to loose leash walk my dog. Loose leash walk, not a perfect heel, but loose leash walk. It goes to the end of the leash, it just comes back. It's just relaxed. It goes to the end of the leash, it just comes back. It's just walking. It's bouncing the leash. It's doing what it's doing. It's having sniffing here and it's sniffing there. It's having a good time. You're having a good time. You're not fumbling on it. You can walk with your stroller. Everything is comfortable. Everything is good. That's what people are looking for. But we're trying to come in and tell them we have to do this extremely highly structured thing. And we're going to fail because we can't be consistent as humans to keep up with that. And dogs are so smart that we don't need to be consistent at all these formal looking things. But yet we're being forced to shove to do that for people. And again, when you don't do what everyone else does, of course, you're what is that? The black sheep. You're the one out. But when I just keep seeing good things come from it, I'm gonna be fine being the one out. And I'm gonna get as many more people involved with doing what it is that I'm doing. I'm gonna get as many more people. Like today, thankfully, I'm able to give a talk to a whole bunch of people to show them these simple methods that I use to get their kennels to be in a better situation, a better place. To get the dogs to stop barking in there, man. The dogs are all barking, kind of going a little crazy. Simple methods to do all this stuff. And that's my primary thing that I feel like my goals of what I do and what I speak about dogs with. As much as I want to help out to make that video so that the individual dog owner can get in a better place, it's almost an impossible thing for me to do. The more and more that I'm really getting into doing what I'm doing. You need to have someone that has an extra eye, that has seen a couple dogs, 50, 60, 100, 200, 300 dogs, to be able to give you that fine tuning that you need to be able to get better with your dog. I can't make a video and then you just and things are going to be good. We need more people out here that know how to work with people to give them what they need and get them real results that they're actually going to be able to keep up with, and not this fantasy fake TV show stuff. So my main goals is to be able to communicate to people that want to work with dogs. And I don't know what it is, but there's quite a few people that already watch me that want to do work with dogs, man. And not even just go for business, but you see all your friends and you're trying to figure out how can I be able to communicate to them that what they're doing with trying to force this and force that is not working. It's not going anywhere. Trying to get them to take these treats and do this, it's not working. It's not working. Does it work for some? Heck yeah, man. Every single method works for some in some way, but not every dog and every human wants to do it that way. I don't know what it is, but when people ask me, do I use treats? It's because they've gone somewhere and realized that it just wasn't working. So I'm like, no, I have a different approach. Let me come by and show you that my approach is not going to scare your dog. And camera malfunction. I don't know what's going on with the camera nowadays. This thing is just want to shut off randomly at random times. All right. And but the main thing is, I want to build that confidence up of that dog. I'm not going to shut the dog down. No, the reason that the dogs get better is because you build their confidence. You let them know that they are just the strongest, most powerful beings on this planet, because they are. These dogs are tough, man. They can live on their own, do on their own, be on their own. They're very, very, very powerful. And the reason that a lot of them are barking and lunging and going crazy because they're scared. And you're going to be very, very shocked and surprised that using certain methods, getting away from the said treats, is going to be able to raise the confidence. And it's a matter of being able to have someone teach someone how to do that so that they could do that for the other person. Because some of us, the reason you got into dogs is because you know how to read them pretty good. You got a good understanding with them. You could just feel with them. But a lot of us that are really good out here are lacking the communication skills to give to the people. To say to somebody, hey, I know you may want that because that looks good, but let me show you. And have your demo dog to show them these tricks and show them how that looks and explain to them the struggles this is the thing that I'm going to always win with everything that I speak to my clients with, because I'm transparent. I'm open. I'm going to say, it looks really good like this, but I got a problem with this with my dog. I hear you. Your dog is looking at that. I got a problem with that with my dog. It's not perfect all the time. You know, I'm having to adjust and do things because it's never perfect. But we're going to come in and try to sell someone something perfect, take their money, and then they get nowhere. They have no results. They have no success. Where I'm going to say, I got to keep working on this, man. Everything isn't so right. That's why I don't know what it is, but I see some folks' videos with your dogs and what you're doing with them. Some of them are just, they're so perfect looking. I'm just like, I hear you, but that's not real. That's not real. They're so right on for this 20-second looking, this awesome looking clip, but that's not real. You're struggling with that dog. You're having problems with that dog. Because there's one thing that I'm going to say is, let me see the start of the training session. You're always showing me the end of it. The dog's tongue is hanging all the way out. It's exhausted. It's beyond tired. And of course it's going to submit to you at that and do everything perfect, because it's like, please, can we stop? Can we be done by now? Why are you pushing the heck out of me right now? Why are you just driving this so hard? I want to see the beginning, where things are messing up, where things don't look that great, where things are challenged, things are sloppy, things are just not going all that great. And still, I don't see anybody still making videos that are over 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes long, and your dogs are around. You always hide them. Your dogs are always hidden, because it's not so set it and forget it to have your dogs do something for more than 10 minutes and everything just be good without having to say something to them. We want to explain real life. You don't need to be this perfect person for someone to hire you. You need to be a real person for someone to hire you. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have days where this is what we're going to do week one, and on the 7th day, you're like, man, I'm still not there yet. So don't put those expectations out there and allow yourself to look stupid, foolish, like you didn't get done what you wanted to get done, because they're individual animals. Put better expectations on yourself and say, hey, I don't know how long this is going to take. Your dog might be 5 minutes. I've done this. You get a loose leash walk on some dogs, 5 minutes, not even. Like literally 20 seconds. I just pull it once and the dog's like, oh, okay, I'll walk that way. That's it. That's that simple method everyone uses. It seriously works. You just walk, dog goes to the end of the leash and you just walk this way. You walk this way. You walk this way. You walk this way. It seriously works. But for everybody, for someone that's done it a lot of times, it's easy and they make it look so simple. But for every other owner, if that method was just the best of the best, then every dog would be loose leash walking and perfect to go in a couple of minutes, the way that these videos make it seem to be. But it's not real. What's real is, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. And you'd be surprised at how people will look at you with such like just respect to say, hey, oh, okay, all right. Well, how much does it get started to working on this? What is your game plan for the end? What is your end result looking? If I have to use this collar or this leash, do I always have to? And explain all these things to people about what results that you're able to get. If your dog is still needing a prong collar and you're still walking it 2 years later, don't go to the client and say, hey, you don't need that forever. Trying to sell it to them in a way of just manipulation, folks. That's damaging stuff, I'm going to say. And I appreciate the trainers that do say, you're going to need this for as soon as you put it on, you're going to need it. You're always going to need it. Because in reality, that's some training methods when you go to that straight structured all this stuff. But when you go to different stuff of letting the dog be able to learn for itself and teach on its own, I don't need it anymore. I don't need collars on any of my dogs anymore. I can just tell them to stay with me and they'll stay with me. I don't care where I'm at still, because I learned how to fade away from that stuff. The way that you're supposed to fade away from the treats, you fade away from the equipment. And a lot of people are not understanding that part. And that's where for the average, just I own 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 8 dogs, you're struggling because you just haven't seen enough yet. But for the trainers out here, you should have been seen enough. You worked with 50 dogs by now, you should have seen little twerks and little tweaks in dogs that just like you could fast track some stuff. Some things that I learned to teach certain things, I'm thinking like, once I see that the dog is getting it, I'm like, let's move on, let's move on, let's move on. And the dogs love that. They love to just move on. They don't want to just do the repetitive. And once they got it, they're like, okay, what's next? And when you've been doing this for a while, you know what to do to go next. But for the average, just I own my dog, it's going to be hard for you to watch a video and replicate that without someone coaching you through it. And the main thing is you want someone to coach you through it that is going to look out for the best of you. And that's what I don't know why we have this like, I want to force my ideology on you. And that's the one thing that for me, like I said, 95% of my videos are talking about God and Jesus. And it's something that I've really come to realize in the 2 years of just talking about that every single day is I can't stand it when someone tries to force it on me. This is it and this is it. No. What if it's not? Allow me to be able to get into it organically. Allow me to be able to experience it for myself. Allow me to be able to pick and choose and say, is this right or is this not? I can't stand when someone just, that's it and you're going to die and you're going to, no. And that's what I'm going to say about all training techniques. That's why I use all training techniques. I do not exclusively say I just this or I just that. I do what's best for the owner and the dog. And if the owner is looking for, I've only met this twice in my life where they're just like, put the pressure on and I'm going to force that dog here. I'm fired. I quit. I don't care. I don't care how far we're into this. If you get to that point that you're just like frustrated because it's not fast enough, it's taking more than 2 or 3 days, we're done. Here's your money. I don't want to do. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do that. That's me though. You know, someone else, you do what you got to do. And some of us, you're in a jam. You need that money. But for me, I don't need that money that bad that I'm going to devalue my value system to try to do something. If someone wants me to do, I just say, I don't do that. And I also, if someone's like, I want to train my puppy to this, I'm sorry. Please call somebody else. And I got a list of people to call them instead. I don't do that. Someone's, I want to be able to just get my dog to do some sits and some downs. I don't handle that. And we have to just be real with ourselves and understand what we're good at with what we do. Some people don't deal with the aggressive stuff. I do. When I hear that a dog, I just went to a place today and the lady's like, the dog bites and the dog this and the dog that. I'm going to get in that. I want to handle that. I just jump into that. I don't know why. And that's what I do. But there's someone else that's like, oh, heck no, man, I'm never going to do that. Then stop trying to train and teach someone how to get their dangerous dog from biting and going crazy out of that when you don't deal with that. And that's the ego part. You're good at something and stick with that. Do that. Specialize in that. Focus on that. If you're the person that knows how to just get dogs to do the basic obedience stuff, to be able to help some people out, because there's a need for that. There's a big need. They still want that. They still desire it. It still is some beneficial in that. But as far as a dog that's going wild already, that stuff is pointless. That stuff is not going to get the dog from being wild and reactive on leash. It's just not. Show it to me, please. It's not. No one can show it to me still. I'm still looking and scanning and spending hours each day trying to find these videos of people showing me today, 8 months from now. Show it to me. That's all I ask for, and that's all anyone asks for. Show us that things are good to go, because I don't see it in the real world. I see 99 out of 100 dogs going freaking crazy on leash outside. They are mad wild out there. So that's the results that I'm seeing that everyone is going to. And now my next survey is going to do is, did anybody help you train your dog? Where'd you go? Who helped you? How much was it? And how you feeling about this right now? And just move on to the next person, because they need to get help. But there's one thing that I know from my fact myself. I can't help everybody, and I can't make a video to help you in that situation. You have to find someone to be able to help you in that situation. And that's where we need more people to stand up as trainers to be able to actually help people in the right direction, instead of destroying them and setting them up and just trying to get paid. I understand, sometimes you need to get money, but sometimes you just got to do some things, knowing that everything's going to be all right. And that's the part with me. I'm going to have that big shift of going to God and talking about Jesus. That if you do good, good's going to come to you. You're never going to be like this good, perfect person, but you're going to do the best that you can to help someone out. And that's where God is going to promise you. You're going to be fine, man. You're going to be set up. Everything is going to be all right for you. And that's the part that I lean on a lot. And that's why for me, again, that I'm going to always do stuff differently than I see other people do. Because I'm just going to rely on my faith to be able to get myself to be in a good place, to make sure that everything is fine. And I'm going to focus all of my time, all of my energy on that, knowing that things are going to line up, man. I do not push myself on people. I do not put ads out to say, please come to me. I pay for a website to make it look decent, like I'm a living human being, because nowadays you got to have a website to look like you're live. Otherwise, they think you're scammed or this and that. I understand that. But as far as me pushing myself, no, I just literally sit and wait. And my phone rings. I get a text. I get an email. I get a call. That's it. That's all that just keeps happening. And I'm gonna have faith in that, knowing that it's gonna be fine. The more that you force yourself, the more that you need. The more that you're going to do things that you don't really feel comfortable with. The more you do things you don't feel comfortable with, the more you just stay in that. And you stay stuck in that. And you don't know how to get out of that anymore. Think outside of the box. Help people what they want, not what you want. That's one major thing that I think that we're disconnecting, that I'm going to probably say 1,000 times in my entire life of career of working with animals. I don't care what I want. I want you to have what you want. You don't want what I have with my dogs. You don't. You want what you want with your dog. So guide and get people there. But the thing I'm going to say again is there's something universal that I noticed that people are looking for from their dogs. Hey, come to me. Hey, come here. That's what they're looking for. You good? That's what they're looking for. Hey, I want to be able to sit on the couch and be able to pet my dog. He's a little wild. Why can't I just want to pet him? Oh, let me help you out with that. Like I'm almost a mind reader with most people that I walk into their house. They're like, how'd you know? And I'm like, because it's just, I keep hearing it and seeing it over and over. I know what you're looking for. But the thing is, you got to actually listen to people and shut up and listen. Someone is saying, I have this issue. That's something that I would greatly appreciate, in reality, to be able to just help me out, to be able to put something together, to be able to show more people of what's going on here. But if you're a dog owner and you're not a dog trainer, even dog trainers out here, man, I can make a video myself of this. What do I want from my dogs? And post a video up. I know most people got 0 subscribers, 0 content, 0. Do one thing, especially if you're just heavy and looking at dog stuff. Make one video of you don't even have to have your face. You could be a black screen. Who cares, man? You just don't want to put your face on there. But just make one video of explaining, what do you want from your dog? What are your expectations? What are you desiring from your dog? What are you looking for your dog to be able to do for you? And what do you want to be able to do for your dog? Just certain little things that I would love to just put together so that more people, especially trainers, can hear what people are actually looking for, as opposed to what the trainers are saying, this is what you need. You're not going to get any success. Not, but you're going to get 1% of success and 99% of failure is what I see outside. And that would be something amazing for more people to just do. If one person can start it, they can just trickle in and keep on going so that we can all say, this is what I want for my dog. This is what I'm looking for. And just shut the background noise off for a second and just sit on the couch or sit on your dining room table and just think, what the heck do I actually want for my dog? What am I looking for right now? What are the things that I don't like that they're doing that I wish I could be able to have a better handle on? And just make a video about that and explain that so that more people can hear what's going on. And then this right here can be a way to be able to balance the stuff of the science only stuff and the positive only stuff and the balanced stuff and all this stuff, to be able to get very clear instructions of what people are actually looking for. What real life people are looking for. Not what's done in the lab behind closed doors in a sterile room that there's nothing going on. But what's really going on? What's really happening? What are you looking for? What are you desiring? And that's more and more people we can get collected to put that together. That's when we're going to actually find some sort of change. I don't know what it is with me, but I could talk crap about things, but I'm not going to talk crap about nothing until I can come up with some sort of solution. And I'm a solutions type based guy. I'm not going to just downplay and talk negative about some people and not have something that we can do to solve this. We have to have something to solve. And that's something for me that I was just thinking about, that I'm just like, if we did that, we could show what's going on. I don't want no written survey. I want a verbal, I don't need a video, but a verbal video of you, your dog, would be even better, of saying, this is my dog. This is my dog, Johnny. I love my Johnny. I really care for my Johnny. I got my Johnny when he was 8 weeks old. This is my first puppy I've ever got. This is my first dog. And I'm having a problem with this, and I don't know what's going on. And I want to be able to get them better with this, and I don't know how to be able to do it. I've been trying this, I've been trying that, but nothing's getting any better. I need to figure out how to be able to get my dog to be able to listen better to me so that we can have more fun together. Because if he would just listen a little bit better to me, I'd allow him to be able to go be free and go run. I wouldn't be so nervous because I know that he's going to come to me. Just videos like that is what we need. And that's what we're not getting. That's what we don't have. And we don't have like the public science project. We have the private behind closed doors science projects. This is a science project that the public needs to put together. Something that we as a collective need to put out and say, this is what we got going on. And some of y'all in some other countries where they're already banning this and banning that, I'm still going to say I'm not against it. I get where they're coming from. There's some abusive people out here, man. They're destructive, and they shouldn't have availability to that tool. And some of these tools, maybe we just need to be in a situation where there needs to be some sort of clarity with being able to get access to this tool. Because if you don't understand the tool, you could destroy a dog with the tool. And they're living, emotional creatures. They know, they feel pain, man. They hurt. They get damaged. So I don't want someone to put a prong collar on a dog that doesn't understand the tool. But for someone who understands the tool, you're going to effectively be able to use it, and we're not going to be in any issues. So I get it why they want to ban this stuff. But at the same time, we don't need to ban it if we are all educated with having a good understanding of it. People that are so against it, they've never even seen it. They've never seen a dog work with it. They've never seen the long-term progress of it. They've never seen any of that. They just see a piece of equipment like, I don't agree with that. I'm signing off on that. Like, you don't know. You don't know. And I can say that with confidence of listening to what these scientists have to say about what we do and how they lobby and how they do to get what they need to get. It's not me just thinking stuff up. The information's out here for everyone to be able to see, people. It's just for me that I got the availability to be able to put my time and effort to pay attention to what they're doing so that I can relay it out here to be able to speak something that I'm finding to be manipulation is all that I can say. And I'm trying to figure out the end goal here. But one thing that I do know is I'm telling you about that pet insurance, and I'm telling you about these licenses and these things. This stuff is going to happen. It's going to happen because there's people that who got the money is who going to win. And who got the money is who wants to continue to keep on getting the money. And that's one thing that I can say, that every method's going to work. I could train your dog outside of getting them to chase some prey items. I don't know how to do that. I'm just straight be honest. I don't think anybody knows how to do that because there's some challenges in other countries that they're willing to give you like $50, $60, $70, $100,000 to convince a dog in 6 weeks not to go kill. It's already killed a sheep, and to get it to stop doing that. And no one's figured that out. I don't think it could be done. But some people don't care. They're like, I'll keep my leash and I'll do this, and I got a small size dog, and okay, I understand where you're coming from with that. But as far as us being able to explain to somebody what we're looking for, we need to actually speak up and say it. Because a lot of people, a lot of trainers, I don't know what this is about dog training. Our ego is like steep, man. It's like deep. It's like, I'm right, I got it. And it's like, I don't understand it. I don't know if doctors are the same way or lawyers are the same way. I know some are, but for the majority of these dog trainers out here, everyone's just, it's hostile. Like, You could have done something messed up 8 years ago and someone's gonna judge you based on that as opposed to you getting real results today. And that's so toxic, man. It's toxic. It's evil is all I can say. And we got to get out of that by being able to hear what the people are wanting. And a lot of times these people aren't, I watch a lot of these consults, I'm telling you, these people are not listening to what the owners want. The owner's speaking for a half hour and he's like, okay, you done? All right, let me tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I put this collar on your dog. I do it like this. I do it like this, and that's it. Okay, you ready? You wanna sign up? Okay, then we do it like this. Next week like this. Next week. And it's like, dude, none of that has anything to do with the owner was just talking about. They just want their dogs to stop fighting in the house. We need to be able to explain to the dogs how to be able to do that. And giving them better obedience, you're gonna be managing that for the rest of the dog's life. Get the dogs to be cool with each other. Get the dogs to be cool with you. Get the dogs to understand and listen to you. Not, I'm gonna force the dog with an e-collar and give them a stem every time that they fight. Trust me, I've tried this. My dogs, Johnny and Oriole, they used to fight. They used to battle, man. I brought a dog home. This dude is already my homie. He was already all on me. He didn't know no dogs. And then I brought this dog home. He didn't know nobody. It was just me and him working together for months. And I brought that energy here where he's like, I'm his. No, and then he's like, I'm his. And we were battling. I could leave these guys into my van for hours and just hang out when I do work. I could leave them together anywhere. I could do it. I don't have to worry because I squashed the hostility through relationship, not through training. I let them know, hey, I love you, man. Hey, man, I love you too. We don't need to fight for me. I love both of y'all. We good. And that's the only way to deal with majority of these issues. It's not going to come down to fancy tricks and obedience. And we need people to just stand up and speak about what's going on with you and what's going on inside your household and what's going on, not even in your household, but when you take your dog out in public. How are you feeling when your dog is going crazy? What's going on in you? So we need to see this and be able to share this and be able to just put it all out there for more people to be able to learn from. It's the only way we're going to get better. We're not going to get better by hiding and masking and trying to push it off to the side. And that's what dog training, the actual training stuff that people talk about today is doing. Put an e-collar on the dog because it's this, and that's the only way that you're gonna get it to stop. Put a prong collar on your dog and do it like this and choke the dog and do it like that to get them to stop. That stuff doesn't work. It's management. You're gonna keep on having to work on it, stay on it forever. There's other stuff out here that we don't need to rely upon that equipment. That we can rely upon my mouth, my words, my body, my being, my everything, that everything is good to go. And that's something that I want to be able to get closer and closer to more people that want to train dogs, to be able to show you simple stuff and get away from this complex stuff that's actually making people's households worse. Thank you.